Okay, it's 9 o'clock. We'll call this meeting of the Pennington County Planning Commission to order. Roll call. Commissioner McCollum is not here. Is he not coming today, Jerry? Do you know?
Right.
He's not going to be here. And Commissioner Peterson is representing the county board. Approval of the March 14th minutes. Did everybody get a chance to read them? Are there any corrections or additions? If not, Chair would entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of March 14th as written. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Approval of the agenda. We have 10 items on the consent calendar and a total of 16 items. Would somebody care to make a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the agenda. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. The consent calendar. The following items have been placed on the consent calendar for action to be taken on all items in accordance with staff's recommendation by a single vote. Any item may be removed from the consent calendar by any planning commissioner, staff member, or audience member for a separate consideration. The findings of the Planning Commission are recommendations to the Pennington County Board of Commissioners, who will make the final decision. PJ, would you please read the first 10 items into the record, please?
Sure. Good morning. PJ Conover, Director, Planning Department. Item number 3, conditional use permit review 9427 for Donald Karras to review a single-wide mobile home in a low-density residential district. Staff recommends to end conditional use permit 9427. Item number 4, conditional use permit review 1102 for Jeff Devaney to review an internally illuminated on-premise sign within 1,500 feet of a residential zoning district or dwelling unit in a highway service district. Staff recommends to continue the review of CUP 1102 to the June 13, 2016 Planning Commission meeting with the applicant's concurrence. Item 5, conditional use permit review 1203 for Keith and Mary Ann Wheeler to review a single-wide mobile home being used as a single-family residence in a suburban residential district. Staff recommends approval of the extension of conditional use permit 1203 with 4 conditions. Item 6, conditional use permit review 1423 for Keystone Adventures Incorporated for Andrew Bussey as the agent to review a golf driving range and helipad in a highway service district. Staff recommends to continue the review of conditional use permit 1423 to the April 11th, 2016 Planning Commission meeting. Item 7, conditional use permit review 1503 for Bituminous Paving. Bill Krakowski as the agent to review a portable asphalt batch plant to be set up in the Pete Lean and Sons gravel pit in a general agriculture district. Staff recommends approval of the extension of conditional use permit 1503 with 11 conditions. Item 8, conditional use permit 1601 for Daniel Elliott to live in an existing cabin while building a new single-family residence on a subject property, and to also allow the existing cabin to remain on the property to be used as a guest house once the single-family residence is completed in a general agriculture district. Staff recommends approval of conditional use permit 1601 with 8 conditions. Item 9, construction permit review 1501 for Keystone Adventures Incorporated to review an area for a helipad and build a road on the subject property in accordance with Section 507. Staff recommends to continue the review of construction permit 1501 to the April 11th, 2016 Planning Commission meeting. Item 10, construction permit 1601 for Rushmore Forest Products. Matt Swanson is the agent to replace 2 existing undersized culvert crossings on Spring Creek with precast box culverts, and to also reestablish the existing creek channel and to create channel capacity between the crossings. Staff recommends approval of construction permit 1601 with 9 conditions.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Would any commissioner like to pull any of these items for further discussion?
Item 9, I have a quick question on
Item 9. Are there any others? Would staff like to pull any items for further discussion?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Would any audience member like to pull any of these items for further discussion? No, okay. We've got items 3 through 8 and item 10 on the consent calendar. Would somebody make a motion, please, to approve the consent calendar?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent calendar. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. On to item 9.
Thank you.
Just, I guess I can keep it quick. I guess I wasn't, 9 is kind of tied to, my understanding of 9 and 6 are tied together at their request to hear both together.
Yes.
But on 9, it seems like there wasn't a reason why we're continuing?
Actually, the site isn't being utilized right now. It's just been stabilized, and Andrew wanted to wait to hear both of these at the same meeting when he could actually be present. So he asked to have it continued, the review continued till that date.
So you're just waiting until there's activity on the site, is that?
Yes, there is no activity on that site right now. It's just
But I mean, you could
stabilized.
still check if the sediment control measures are in.
Yes, and we have been up there, and it is stabilized right now, and it has been since December. And they have been sending me the monthly inspection reports, so.
Okay. That's the only question I had, is why we were continuing.
Sure, and he's going to start working the site probably in the beginning of April, so that would give us some time to do another inspection, and then Andrew will be here to talk about, he has some changes to the site plan and some other things, so.
Okay.
Since I asked the question, I guess I would move that we continue it per staff's recommendation.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to continue construction permit CP 15-01 to the April 11th, 2016 Planning Commission meeting. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. On to item 11.
Item 11 is vacation of Plat 1601 and to vacate a plat of Lot A in the northeast section of Section 22, Township 2N and Range 8E. The applicant is Rodney Vollmer, currently exists inside the city limits of Box Elder. The applicant is requested to vacate the plat from Book 7, page 69, originally recorded on January 29th, 1957. It does exist currently in the city of Box Elder. It was in Pennington County when it was platted in 57. The current parcel is 26 acres. It's vacant of any structures. If it was vacated, it would be absorbed into a 160-acre parcel, and it would also still be vacant of any structures. South Dakota Codified Law 11.320.1 allows us to vacate this, even though it is not in even though it is in Box Elder city limits, and there is also a letter from the city of Box Elder giving up jurisdiction for this vacation. Staff recommends approval of vacation of Plat VP 1601 with 2 conditions.
Thank you, PJ. Are there any questions? Yes, Sig.
PJ, should the pins be pulled when the plat is vacated?
I don't know, never had that question. We could ask Donna and see what she says.
Well, and kind of related to that, does the lot revert back to the section line? I mean.
Reverts back to what it was originally.
So in this case, was the section line dedicated as part of the platting process? So if the plat is vacated, does the lot go back to the section line rather than 33 feet off?
We can find out for you.
That's a good question.
I mean, the section line's gonna override any setbacks that were there anyway. I'm not answering your question, you know what?
Yeah, but if it's, usually if the plat you're dedicating to public use, and until that time, it's usually just, your lot is still to the section line.
There weren't any notes on the plat that said anything like that.
I
Again,
didn't
this was
see
done in
that either.
57, so stuff wasn't on
But
there.
biggest concern I had is just for future confusion and all that is whether the pins should be pulled if there's no longer a lot there.
I can check with Donna and also check with Ron to see what they do, because it's in his
I'm
limits.
not
Yeah.
clear either, I'm not.
No, never had that question before, but that's a good question.
Would you like to make that a condition of the vacation?
Or at least clarification from the, who'd be that from?
And then report back afterwards, but still allow them to go through with what
Yeah,
they want?
I would.
Okay,
I guess add it as a condition, pulling pins if it's required.
okay.
Excuse me.
Yes, Laura.
Do you want something more generic than that, that describes maybe, because you talked about setbacks, another thing, is there a different way to word that condition to make it more, if there's some other things they have to do? Because you talked about setbacks and pins and other things related to the description.
It gets a little tricky because it is
Yeah.
in Box Elder, so it's whatever their setbacks are, I don't know.
I think the woman behind you would like to speak.
Okay, sure.
Okay, would you like to come and identify yourself for the record, please?
Brenda Whiting. I own the 140 acres adjacent to this on the west end. And why we're trying to vacate the Lot A is I'm trying to buy that 40-acre parcel from Mr. Vollmer. He bought the whole 160, and we need to vacate the Lot A so I can buy the 40 acres. And right now, I don't believe there are any pins. It's a pasture. I've never found any. And I will be having a surveyor, because I'm going to be putting in fences, I'm going to be putting cattle on there.
The plat indicates that there are pipes in the
Pins.
corner.
The only thing I found is where the water and the gas line cross it from my property on and going on to the Ellsworth. It was put in 1957, and we didn't find anything. We drove all over it. But
It's just 3/4 inch pipe. If you don't have a magnetic locator, you
Wouldn't
probably
find
aren't
it.
gonna-
Yeah, you
Okay.
won't find it.
And I don't know what the other two conditions are that I didn't see that.
Did you get a
with those.
copy of it?
I did, and I didn't notice those.
that'd be,
Filed.
application plat file,
And
registry, just normal, and then you
Sure.
just basically sign a document that you acknowledge.
Sure, okay. If you want to make that a condition, that if the pipes are there, that they're pulled, I don't have a problem with that. Because we are going to go ahead and fence and keep it as a 40-acre tract. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Are
And
there
I
any-
don't have any issue with vacating the plat, just kind of on the protocol and the pins, I guess.
Okay. So how would you like us to word your additional condition?
That's a good question. Probably if the Register of Deeds, if, with vacation of plat, verify whether the pins that have been previously set need to be removed.
I can check, yeah. Didn't turn up in her comments, but again, she's never said anything about that in any of her comments. She's
Well,
usually just looking at the description.
I think it's unusual, so.
But if you like, we can look at it.
Okay, so is there further discussion? Okay, so would you like to make a motion, Sig?
I'd make a motion that follow the staff's recommendation for vacation of plat with 3 conditions, and the third condition being verify with the Register of Deeds whether property pins need to be removed, and make the condition of removing the pins if so.
Sure.
Okay. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Don't we need a second?
Oh, I'm sorry, we didn't get a second.
Do we have to
Sorry.
get a second on the
Yes, we do,
amended? Okay.
yes.
Sorry.
Is there a second?
Second.
Sig's motion, okay.
Sorry, sure.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve vacation of plat VP 16-01 with 3 conditions, the 2 that are listed in the staff report, and an additional condition that Sig just specified. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. On to item 12.
Oops, sorry. Getting a little ahead of myself here. Item 12, County Board Report. The Board of Commissioners will hear the Planning Commission's recommendation from the March 14th, 2016 Planning Commission meeting on Tuesday, April 5th, 2016. Also, a telecommunication facility permit, 1601 for Celia Incorporated Network Corporation, Verizon Wireless. Brian Cabot from Buell Consulting as the agent was appealed and will be heard on at the April 19th, 2016 Board of Commissioners meeting.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions about any of that? Okay, item 13, items from the public. Does anybody from the public want to say something? Guess not. Item 14, items from the staff.
Just a few items from staff. Item A, vacation home rental public meeting. This is the advertisement that will be going out into the newspapers. Have we had done it once yet? I forget what the dates were.
been advertised once.
Been advertised once. So we're looking to hold the public meeting from 4 to 6 p.m. on the 12th in this room, and I'm working with Charlie Johnson to come up with the agenda for that.
Okay.
Any questions on that one?
Is this going to be the only public meeting?
Unless you guys want one, this is one that the committee asked for,
Okay, so this
So-
is going to be a committee, the committee's
running
meeting?
this one, yes.
Okay,
Then after, if there's any changes after that public meeting, the committee will reconvene and discuss those, vote on those again, and eventually it'll come back to you guys.
Okay, so in May, probably it'll come to us, maybe?
If there's no big changes that the community asks for.
Okay. And it'll be held in this meeting, in this room?
The public meeting, yes.
Yeah,
This is
okay.
where it's scheduled.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Okay, Kroll Ready Mix.
Item B, the appeal for Kroll Ready Mix is going to be heard at the April 5th Board of Commissioners meeting during their regular agenda.
Can I ask a question? This reminded me of, did the property issue in Mystic get appealed?
In Mystic, which one?
Knutson and, Knutson with the RV?
I think it did. You're familiar with that one.
Did we ever hear how that was, did that get heard at the commissioners meeting already?
It has not gotten heard. It was on an agenda at the Board of Commissioners meeting. They were out of town on the last Board of Commissioners meeting. I will be out of town the next Board of Commissioners meeting, so they request that it be continued to the April 19th
Okay.
meeting.
That just reminded me of that, so.
Yes.
Okay. Item C, temporary zoning moratorium.
Yep, there's two temporary zoning moratoriums. One that was brought on by Commissioner Hadcock, and that's the one you're looking at here, which is a temporary zoning ordinance regulation for construction permits and mining permits. It's to be heard on April 5th by the Board of Commissioners, and if signed and approved, it'll take effect on that day. Again, that's ordinance number 663. Ordinance number 664 was brought forward by staff to ask for a moratorium regulating alternative energy in all Pennington County zoning districts, mainly because of the interest in solar farms that we have coming up. And we've actually gotten another call from another company looking to do a similarly sized, large solar farm over a section in size over in the center of the county.
So that's 3?
That's
Two?
almost 2,000 acres.
Wow.
And we got actually an email this morning of a resident who must have seen stuff about solar, asking about putting stuff on their house.
Interesting,
What was the
okay.
date on that, the alternate?
April 5th.
That's when these will be heard?
That's when they'll be heard.
Okay, April 5th.
And they'll be public, they've been publicized already on the 23rd and 24th.
Okay. Any other comments or questions about the zoning moratorium? All right, how about the 2016 National Planning Conference?
Cassie and I will be attending the American Planner Association Conference in Phoenix. It starts Saturday and goes till Tuesday. They have a ton of topics. If we could send the entire staff, we still wouldn't be able to cover everything. So we're going to go down there. I'm going to be taking a solar energy track, which will be very beneficial and very timely for what we're doing. So we're hoping to kind of divide and conquer and get as much out of it as we can. Usually two staff don't go to these conferences. Mostly what we've done is kind of hit heavy on the local ones, but we're looking to go after the certifications from at the national level. So we figured we probably should spend some time at their conference.
At the national conference?
Yes.
Yeah. Are there any questions? Okay, thank you very much. Are there any items from the membership? Any commissioners have something? Nope, okay. Item 16, adjournment. Chair would entertain a motion.
So move.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adjourn. Is there further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are, same sign, we are adjourned.
Thank you.